want your aim to look like this? Well, your aim is the only mechanic in Fortnite that you cannot win fights without. So in today's video, I'll be going over 5 tips to instantly fix your aim. Most guides just repeat the same things, so today I'll give you the exact steps I gave to the players I coached, which completely transformed their aim and actually helped them make earnings. So make sure to watch until the end. But before I get into the video, if you're trying to improve in competitive Fortnite, you need to be using Snapin.gg. It's a full improvement system with a 24/7 AI coach trained on pro strategies and advice from top pro coaches. So you get pro level advice that's completely custom to you and you get it instantly. It also builds personalized pro level routines that are based on your weaknesses, and it includes the full progression system, a weakness tracker, tournament journal, goal setting system, and everything is synced to your coach, so it's all personalized. You can make custom game plans and get AI recommendations, and the Snapin AI is trained on everything to do with how to perfectly play every game and all the best ways to practice. Like I said, it's literally trained on pro advice and advice from pro coaches and tons of pro strategies that I guarantee you don't know. If you would be interested in this, you can sign up to know when Snapin launches by clicking the link in the description, but only sign up if you're actually gonna buy it when it comes out for $15. Now let's get back to the video. Now if you follow step 1, hitting shots will become 100 times easier, and this is only possible if you master crosshair placement. In games like Valorant, it's very known that your crosshair placement is the most important aspect of aiming, because clearing corners is very important in that game. But this is often forgot about when it comes to Fortnite, but crosshair placement is one of, if not the most important elements that determine whether or not you have good aim. So how can you get good crosshair placement when in a game like Fortnite you constantly have to move your crosshair around to build and edit? Well, the first thing you can do is at long range, specifically with AR tags, which is extremely important if you play Fortnite competitive. Instead of trying to track and keep up with a moving target at long range, instead position your crosshair just in front of the enemy and wait for them to move into your crosshair. This is going to make it a lot easier to hit shots, and it's gonna lead to you hitting them shots more consistently, simply because you don't have to move your crosshair as much to hit the shot. And the more you play the game, the more you'll be better at this skill, because the more scenarios you would have been in. But you can also use crosshair placement to hit more shotgun shots and to hit way more max damage shots. To do this, whenever you're walking around with your shotgun out, make sure your crosshair is positioned at head level, so when an enemy comes into your vision, you won't have to move your crosshair as much to hit the shot. So you rely way less on being able to hit a fast flick, and instead making aiming 10 times easier and having more consistent aim. Speaking of having consistent aim, if you follow step 2, every shot you take will be max damage. So you won't hit any more 30 or 40 pump shots, and you'll start hitting max damage shotgun shots consistently. The reason your aim isn't consistent right now is because you don't know where to aim and you're aiming at the wrong place. But to overcome this, you need to understand Fortnite's player hitbox. Simply put, when using your shotgun, your goal should be hitting a max damage shot, and to do this consistently every time, you need to position the small dot in the middle of your crosshair on the target's nose. And at extremely long range with an AR, and when you desperately need surge, aim at the chest instead of the head to guarantee you at least get some damage. And similar to this, in close range situations, when you need to spray with either an SMG or an AR, you should also aim at the chest, as the total damage you'll deal doing this, even though you'll be doing slightly less damage than a headshot, is going to be higher overall, as the amount of shots you'll hit will make up for the slightly lower damage. And next up, I want to talk about a practice map where you can combine and practice everything I just said, which is also the best way to hit more consistent max damage shotgun shotgun shots, improve your crosshair placement, and just improve your overall aim. The map I'm talking about is Headshot Boxfights by Raider464. You can just search up Headshot Boxfights in the creative search bar and then play 1 to 3 10-minute rounds of this map every day, and play until you feel your shotgun aim is at a good level for you. But most importantly, make sure to keep your crosshair at head level whenever you have your shotgun pulled out, as like I said earlier, this is going to make hitting max damage shots a lot easier to hit. And you can also use this time to practice your other mechanics as well, as it's essentially a box fight map with around 10 other players. But the only way to kill an enemy is by hitting a max damage shot, and if you're on EU, you'll probably run into a few pros on this map depending on what time you play, as a lot of the top pros like to practice in this map as well. So that's how you know this and the rest of the things I'm about to say in this video are going to work. So next up, let's talk about tracking. A part of aiming that I'm sure you know is also extremely important when it comes to Fortnite, even more so for competitive games. Tracking is essentially being able to keep your crosshair on a moving target and track it smoothly. But before you even think about training this, you need to make sure you have good mouse control or good stick control if you play on controller. So let me give you 3 ways you can practice having good mouse control, and this is also going to help you have calm aim. The first thing, which is also the most basic out of the 3, is to just get into more fights. Simply put, the more fighting repetitions you get into, the more times you're going to practice your aim in actual scenarios, and therefore the faster you're going to improve your aim. But to boost that improvement even more and do so faster, I recommend playing Kovacs if you're on keyboard and mouse and you recently switched, or you would just class yourself as a beginner, because this is the best way to improve your mouse control when starting out, as it quite literally forces your brain to focus on improving your mouse control. Just make sure you play the right Kovacs drills, and if you don't have or know any yourself, then I have multiple routines depending on what you need to work on in my Discord, The Pro Reality, which is completely free to join, and it also has a bunch of other Fortnite routines, from daily routines for every time limit and routines on specific mechanics such as aim and piece control. The link is in the description if you want to join. But the third way to get good mouse control is by slowing down and not rushing your shots. And to prove it, I actually made a video quite a while ago where I followed the world's hardest routine, and something I noticed is that when I just stopped rushing my shots and slowed down, I started hitting a lot more far range AR tags. So after you've improved your mouse control, to improve your overall tracking, you need to practice it using drills like the glider tracking scenario in Raiders Mechanics Training V5 map, or the bounce tracking scenario. Although this might seem boring, there is no magic trick to improve your tracking to get to the point where you actually have insane aim. The only way to do this is by practicing. Now I want to quickly touch on long range AR tags, which is a non-negotiable if you want to succeed in Fortnite competitive, as if you can't hit long range AR tags, you'll probably end up dying to Surge. So I would recommend going to Raiders Mechanics Training V5 map and to the Surge tag scenario, then practicing tagging the bots from far away, and try out keeping your crosshair just in front of the bot and waiting for the target to come into your crosshair. And if after a while this still seems unnatural to you, just focus on not rushing your shots. Then after, you can also practice tracking long range and holding down shoot instead of just tapping shoot. But make sure to do both, and if you're looking to improve faster, then I recommend watching this video on screen. But before you go, make sure to like and subscribe and use code Blexiti in the Fortnite item shop, as well as check out the Snapin launch only if you would be interested in buying Snapin when it comes out. Thank you for watching.